Hey, what's up out there, everybody? Welcome to Example of Play. Today's game is Panzercorps 2. Specifically, I'm trying out the new DLC. It's called Frontlines Bulge. It is the first of a new series of DLC for the game, where previously they had all the Axis operations. There's like one DLC for each year of the war. That's these grand campaigns with lots of big scenarios. This new series of DLC they're doing is more focused on kind of shorter, smaller scenarios with more detailed maps, so like a smaller scale. And with this first one, they're doing Battle of the Bulge, and it's also the one of the first times you get to play as the Americans, where all the previous DLC for the most part has you playing as the Germans throughout the war, and the base game is the same thing. You're playing as Germany through the war. This lets you play as America in the Battle of the Bulge. So let's jump right into it. This is the second scenario of the DLC. The first one was kind of a warm-up mission where you're attacking a small town, and then now this is the start of the German attack. So the briefing, yeah, German artillery, local counterattacks expected, so they're not too worried about it. Um, Yep, so we know the history here that there are a bunch of German units coming, and our troops are spread out thin over this big area. So our objective is hold 3 of the victory hexes, and then bonus if we can hold 2 secondary hexes for 14 turns. And this is Panzercorps 2 or Panzercorps 1, basically the same thing, but 2 is just a lot nicer to look at. Has some more features as well, but I haven't played this game in a while, and I forgot how aesthetically pleasing it is. Like, just looking at this map, it just looks nice. And then you got the mini map. Very clean, very crisp graphics and presentation. So let's see, we need to hold 3 victory hexes. Looks like we have 6, so along this line here. And then try to hold 2 secondary hexes. So I think that's the dashed ones there. So obviously, if we're trying to hold out, there's 16 turns. We need to hold till 14 turns to get that. We can imagine there's a lot of German units coming at us real quick. Some of these forces are our core units that we'll want to try to keep alive to carry forward in the campaign, and some are going to be auxiliary units that are just temporary. We'll get one of those guys. Crocodile sounds fun, but we'll just go with kind of a standard M4A3. Let's see, that uses up 10 of our slots. And then I got 4 slots left. There's no air units available right now because sounds good. All right, now we're ready. Ooh, poor Jeeps, they never had a chance. Now, of course, this is the opening of the Bulge, so obviously we're expecting to take a lot of casualties here. These are like the auxiliary units that they're here to get destroyed, basically. Alright, so we got a Panther, got plenty of German infantry moving up. These guys are just Volksgrenadiers, though. Alright, so this Jeep, they have no hope. We'll just pull them back. This anti-tank gun, I don't want it out there in the forest. It's just going to get killed by those infantry. So we're just going to pull it back. These guys are engineers, so they're good in urban combat, assaulting fortifications, but not great in the open. But we're going to move them here. Seeing that Panther, we're definitely going to want our armor forces ready to counter. This is a 105 Sherman, so you gotta kind of know your Shermans in this game because there's a dozen different varieties of them. So this one's more of an artillery and support one, not really meant for armored direct combat with other armored units. But this one is like the Firefly with the 76 M4A3, so it is ready to go. So we'll bring some of our armor up. The Germans have a lot coming at us. And now, so snow, lots of snow this turn. And looks like next turn is going to be snowy also. Makes it hard to see, so if we move forward and bump into some enemies, we'll get ambushed. We don't want that. But we could maybe make them bump into us. I'm going to bolster this line up here a little bit. We're attacking together, or being next to each other. And now we've got them on the run, so we can do more damage. Alright, so up here we are... And then when tanks get that overrun, when they take out some, I forget the exact rules, but it's like when they take out a unit in the open like that, they get overrun, which basically lets them get a bonus attack, so then they can roll on and do another attack. Alright, so I didn't quite finish off that unit, but we repelled. And then recon vehicles can move multiple times, so they can kind of creep up like that. So we repelled that attack in the north, but that was just a couple infantry units. Here in the middle, we're dealing with some armor. So again, we'll try to hit them with some artillery, soften up these infantry. See how this plays out. Now it's getting real snowy. Alright, that worked out. So the Hellcat, being a tank destroyer, actually can fire in support of adjacent units, so it can fire like over them. So that worked out nicely. And then let's think about, just gonna leave kind of our right flank here is kind of light, but the enemy's not attacking there, so we'll just let them hold that river. And then we'll see if we can push back. The Chaffee's really light, but this Panzer IV is at half strength to start with. So now we didn't, that -2 when it's the blue number, that's dropping their morale or suppressing them. So it didn't take out their health, but made them turn red, which makes them very vulnerable. Question is if we have anything to route them with. Then we gotta think about, that's just a Panzer II, but this is a Panther. So since that's going pretty well, we'll send those guys down there for now, and then we might probably bring a little bit of this armor down to help here in a second. Ooh. So we definitely took some hits there, lost a couple units. Taking this town here kind of forced the AI decided they needed to go retake that, so we diverted some forces, but paid for it. Alright, we're dealing out some casualties on them too. It's not one-sided. Only a few more turns left to try to hold out. Nebelwerfers with the nice sound effect there. Need to get this artillery off the front line, that's not good. Let's get rid of this Panther. Finally. Oh, so we captured it. That's nice. These guys must have just insanely high morale. Otherwise, it seems like they should definitely take some kind of damage. How are they not dying? That's ridiculous. We'd certainly like to get rid of this super stug up here. Okay, he's got 1 health left. Can we finish him off? Nope. No. It's gotta be a bug. Like, there's no way. They've been totally surrounded, cut off, multiple turns. They can only seem to only take 1 damage per turn. Alright, turn 15 of 16. We have to make do with what we have. Super Stug finally dies after refusing to take more than 1 point of damage per turn. basically holding up my whole north flank by itself. I don't have any good answers for this Tiger 2. We don't have to hold this secondary objective anymore, so we might, well, yeah. Yeah, nothing good's gonna come from trying to fight them by itself for almost a day. Yep, so some successes, but a lot of casualties taken. But we got a victory. Probably could have been done better, took quite a few casualties, so we'll be dealing with replacing a lot of losses. Okay, so we're on the next scenario, St. Vith. And then we'll jump through that here because I'm not going to go into the whole next mission, but we see we got some more heroes. We got a lot of units with a lot of casualties. We can bring that Panther that we captured into the fight, so that's cool. They take up 7 slots. But anyway, so that was a scenario from the new Panzercorps 2 DLC, Frontlines Bulge. And yeah, as described, it gives you these, lets you play as Americans, which is first, other than a couple little scenarios, we're playing skirmish multiplayer, first campaign where you can play as the Americans, and playing these kind of smaller scale, more focused scenarios versus like invading all of France in one scenario. You see these operations play out. So, alright, thanks for watching. If you like that, hit subscribe, hit like, and we'll see you next time.